Today I fucked up by getting a coworker to flash me. Obligatory, this happened yesterday. The day before yesterday, my foster daughter had a bunch of her friends over to watch the premiere of the new BTS video. I'd check on them every now and then, and every time I saw them, they were doing these weird stretches with their arms over their heads or behind their backs. After a while, I asked, "What are you guys doing?" They said it was a flexibility test they learned from friends at school. Move 1. Clasp your hands behind your back, with one hand going over your shoulder and one going under. Move 2. Prayer hands behind your back. Move 3. Touch your elbows behind your back. Most of the kids could do 1 and 2, and they were laughing at each other's struggles to do 3. After a while, their video started and they moved on to more important things. The next morning at work, I was curious to see if I could do the stretches. I stood in front of the full-length mirror in my office and tried them. 1 was a little tough, especially in a button-down shirt. 2 was easy and felt pretty good. 3 seemed to conflict with basic human anatomy. I tried different angles and wrist positions and didn't even come close. While I was doing this, a young female coworker comes over and asks what I'm doing, much like I did the previous night. I explain the stretches and figure she'll have more work since she's younger and in better shape than me. Stretch 1, no problem. Stretch 2, it's like she was born to do this. Then she tries to touch her elbows behind her back and the buttons of her blouse completely give up. I'm staring at her in the mirror with her shirt split open with nothing underneath. She looked shocked and embarrassed. She covered up and walked out of the room. I run to the supply closet to grab a promotional t-shirt that we hand out at events and give it to her in her office. Then I go back to the room with the mirror to find her button, which I ended up sewing back on before anyone else made it to the office. Too long did not read. I asked a young female coworker to try a difficult stretch, which led to her blouse splitting open while we were alone in the office. This sounds like a trick invented by schoolboys to get girls to push out their chests with maneuver number 3. Seems like you handled it fine, op. And so it begins. There are no mistakes, just happy accidents. Bob Ross. Something tells me this is a trick that the kids came up with for this exact purpose. Get some unsuspecting girl to show off her breasts, preferably in a blouse with snaps or poorly stitched buttons. I'm sure a cami or t-shirt would look just as good to most teen guys. Sounds like an HR nightmare, tears of joy. Give it a while and you too will probably laugh at it. Today I fucked up by coming home early to surprise my wife, who was having a surprise birthday party for me. I am still chuckling at this even though it's kinda fucked up. Long story short, I forgot my own birthday. Yeah, I know it's weird. Had a little bit of a rough childhood and my birthday was either never celebrated or forgotten, well, both. So as I grew older I forgot about it myself. I mean, we never did anything and whatnot, so who cared? Now I'm married with a wonderful woman who's very thoughtful, but she always does some kind of party or date on my birthday. But sometimes I still forget, so today I came home early from work to surprise my wife, who was surprising me. I walked in quietly, and I saw her in the kitchen, with flour and cake mix on her forehead and tapestries, birthday cups, flowers and gifts around the table. She was making a cake, for a surprise party. My surprise birthday. My mouth dropped and I quietly walked backwards to the door, exiting quietly and waiting till 7:30 to come back home. My wife would be so sad and she was workin' so hard, cold sweat smile. So within the time frame of about 3.5 hours, I practiced my, "Oh my god I'm so surprised" face. When I came home she yelled, "Surprise." And I did a very crappy surprise face, hugged her and we had a movie marathon. This secret will never come out. But I think this was the best birthday ever. I find this kind of funny, tears of joy. I will be taking this secret to my grave. Too long did not read. I forgot my own birthday, came home from work early to surprise my wife and my wife was making a cake, for my surprise birthday. Whoops. Man, that first half of the title made my heart drop. Thought you were gonna say you caught her cheating, lol. Glad it came out wholesome. I appreciate that this is so wholesome. I'm glad you played along like you didn't know what was going on. It might be worth mentioning at some point that you occasionally forget about your birthday, just in case you aren't able to be as sneaky in the future. It'd probably make for a good laugh for the two of you if you do tell her. Lol. This was so wholesome and cute. Didn't know I needed to read something like this today, but I'm glad I did. I hope you thoroughly enjoyed your cake. It was definitely made with pure love. How to show someone you love them, and how to return the favor. That was sweet. Haha, similar thing happened during 2020. My birthday was in August, so things were still pretty shut down, unknown with COVID for the most part. I had a weird craving for a blooming onion from Outback Steakhouse, but couldn't go to restaurants obviously. My amazing wife decided at 9 a.m. to place an order for a blooming onion on DoorDash, to be delivered at 3:55 p.m. I'd be home from work around 4:00 that day. Well, at 9:01 a.m., I got a notification from my DoorDash app, as she had used my account. Tears of joy. So I had to spend all day looking forward to my bloomin' onion, not letting my wife know that I knew, and practicing my surprised face. Let's just say, there's a reason I'm not an actor lol. We laugh about that every few months now.